Hello folks, and welcome back this evening for my next smartwatch review. Tonight we have the ET593 smartwatch. Now I'm going to take this out of the box and show you what comes out of the box and then go away and charge it for several days. And then, charge it and then wear it for several days and then come back with my full, fair, and honest review. So we have the watch body itself. If I continue opening the box, we will have a magnetic charging cable. And this will be the ever ubiquitous two-prong type that will snap on the back via magnets. And then we have a strap, and I'll zoom in a minute. We have the smartwatch user guide. And this looks actually readable. It looks legible. The app here is going to be HBand. We'll get into that in the next segment here. Yeah, this looks very readable. But this smartwatch is going to have a micro health aspect to it that's going to allow you to make and take phone calls when connected via Bluetooth, sleep tracking, heart rate, ECG, body composition, body temperature, blood pressure, blood oxygen. Should pull in weather, track sport activities, and I think this has a couple features that are not advertised as well. It gives you a little guide here on how to wear it and how to take these measurements. That's it. Let me zoom in and see if there is any juice out of the box here and take a closer look at the body of the watch. Always be sure to peel off these protective covers both on the front of the watch, and it looks like another screen protector underneath that, but especially the ones on the back, because these will prevent proper contact with your skin to make the measurements. So make sure you peel those off. Let me press and hold the button. Yeah, it's got some battery life in here out of the box. Let's swipe down. 98% battery charge. I kind of like that. Screen display, brightness. Yeah, this is going to be a familiar menu system. So I like the looks of this watch. It's sort of, I would call this a square watch. It's neither round nor rectangular. It looks pretty darn square to me as compared to a true rectangular watch. And this one is going to be a predecessor in the same family. This is the ET593. If you look at my reviews, right before you're watching this one here on the right, you will have seen the one on the left. I've been wearing this one for a few weeks already just because I like it so much. Yeah, go check that one out. Yeah, but this is the ET593. Let me go wear it and come back with my full, fair, and honest thoughts through the magic of editing, which to you will seem like just a few seconds. Okay, so I'm back after a couple weeks, and here we have, I'm going to turn this studio light off. I'm going to leave that on. And let's take a look at this watch. Let me swipe down from the top and get into some of the settings here. What we really want to do is get into the brightness settings. So let me click on that icon here, get into the brightness setting. Let me turn that all the way up. Then let me swipe. And screen on time, let me bump that all the way up. It's as high as it'll go, which I think is 60 seconds on this watch, so it's not constantly turning off over the course of this review. So let's start from the start. You press the button to get the watch face to light up, and this is a 1.72 inch HD display. This is let's call it a rounded square face, which, looks and aesthetics are really in the eye of the beholder. It's kind of a minimalist, smallish watch, which I tend to like the bigger round ones, but it is what it is. That's personal preference. If we swipe, first of all, from this main screen, if you swipe down, you get into some shortcuts like to be able to make and take Bluetooth calls, and you have your brightness settings that we just looked at. All right, you can switch your watch faces. And let's see, you can get into some settings here. Health monitor, screen display, switches, notifications, language, incoming call, date and time. You can switch that from 24-hour to 12-hour time, and this is one of those smartwatches where you can adjust the time and date right from the watch itself. You don't necessarily have to sync it with the app, and then you get the QR code for the app that pairs with it, which is HBand, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. And then some system settings. You can power down, factory reset, device info. There you have it, the ET593. And that's about it from the settings. It's got a flashlight mode here where you can tap that and all the pixels will light up. So in a very dark situation, you can use your watch as a flashlight somewhat. Voice assist. It's got a calculator, and then you can power off. Now, if you get to the main screen and wipe up, you can pull in your SMS messages from your phone when tethered via Bluetooth. And as you can see, I've tested this and it works just fine. Now, there's no way to send any quick replies or anything like that, but you can at least read your text messages. And the other thing you can do here from the main screen, if you swipe from left to right, you can get into a shortcut mode, and you can make and take calls directly from the watch when tethered to your phone via Bluetooth Low Energy. It's got a built-in speaker and microphone. That works. I've tested it. Works just fine. I'm not connected via Bluetooth right now, but it does work. And you can get into things like the weather forecast and things like that. Again, once I get into the app, I'll show you. This is the watch face I like the best. Now let's get into the guts of this. We swipe from right to left. Here is a comprehensive health glance where you press this button and it will measure multiple aspects of, let's just say, readings that it's taking while pressed against your skin. Not a medical device. These numbers are for reference only. All right, but it does give you a number for heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygen saturation level, stress level, and body temp all at the same time when you do that health glance. So it gives you all this data from a push of a button and waiting about 60 seconds. Now for body temperature, it's actually measuring your skin temperature, obviously, and extrapolating to what your body temperature is. All right, so that's your health glance. Here is your phone feature. Here is your activity level for the day. It gives you steps, kilocalorie burn, and estimated mileage walked. Here is your sleep from the night before. And there's no real detailed information from the watch itself, but you will get that in the app. We keep swiping. Here is your heart rate in beats per minute. Swipe again. You can do ECG, EKG, and you do that by pressing the play button or the go button, and then you put your finger from your other hand on the electrode on the side of the watch. And this will take an EKG measurement. And this is not a faked or artificial graph. This is really happening and building in real time. So I'm going to let this go in real time just so you can see how long it takes. Ideally, I would be relaxed, kind of laid back, and not talking to get this as accurate as possible. But I just kind of want you to see how long this takes. So I'll riff a little bit about the watch. It's been very comfortable to wear. It's very comfortable to sleep with. It's got comprehensive type information that it gives you. There's your heart rate, myocarditis risk here. This is low, no risk, cardiac arrhythmia risk, coronary artery disease risk, arterial sclerosis, mental health stress, and fatigue. All right, so I'm medium on both of those. Very similar to EKG, it's got body composition. So same deal here. You press that play button, hold a finger on the electrode, and it, no, sorry, that jumped to blood pressure. I want body comp. There we go. You're going to press and hold here. And again, this is going to generate some numbers. Don't trust it. Not a medical device. Sorry, couldn't help myself, but that's the last time I'm going to say it. This is not a medical device. Don't trust your health to it. Body mass index, body fat percentage, muscle mass, subcutaneous fat, body water, skeletal muscle, bone mass, protein percentage, basal metabolic rate or BMR, and you get all of that from that push of the button on this body composition. Next, we have blood pressure. You would just click that and it will do blood pressure. If you really want to know your blood pressure, go see a real doctor. Blood oxygen saturation, here it will use the red diodes on the back of the device to give you blood oxygen saturation, or SpO2. I'll let this go in real time so you can see how long it takes. It doesn't really take all that long, all things considered. So 98%, all right, so that's done already. Here you have that body temperature. Here's where it will pull in weather. Blood components, this is like bizarre that it's even generating for numbers for this. Obviously, you cannot get this information without getting a blood draw and sending that off to a lab somewhere. But it does report some numbers here for uric acid, total cholesterol, triglycerides, high-density lipoproteins, low-density lipoproteins. Yeah, number generator, take it or leave it, take it for what it is, for reference only, and then blood glucose monitoring. This is non-invasive blood glucose monitoring. Again, it's not really doing a blood draw, so it's not really a valid measurement. None of these wrist smartwatches non-invasively have been FDA approved yet for being accurate for blood glucose. So don't trust it. I'm just showing you the features of the watch, so don't shoot the messenger. If these companies aren't going to make any claims of accuracy, then I am not either. So it's got that measurement, a stress level, you just tap that, it'll do some measurement and it will come back and give you some numbers to indicate what it thinks your stress level is. I'll let this go in real time as well. This has a sleep tracker in it, heart rate, blood pressure, BMI, blood components, uric acid, blood lipids, blood glucose monitoring, as we saw, all of these, HRV, fatigue detection that we're looking at now, emotion detection, that micro physical examination, and this should come back with a measurement very soon. And there you go. This is 12, it says normal, and it's done. And then HRV, heart rate variability, similar thing, you would tap to test that. And then I've got all the widgets that I can loaded up on the main screen, but you could take some of these away and add other ones if you wish, but these are the tiles I like. So what have I missed? That's kind of the tour around the watch. Let's go look at the app, and then I'll come back with my full, fair, and honest thoughts and opinion. The app here is the HBand app, and I had the graphics department whip up a really fancy animation here to show you that indeed the ET593 does use the HBand app. Wasn't that a cool graphic? So we get into the app, you have your dashboard here, your steps for the day, your amount of sleep, and then you see the ET593, it's connected there, gives you an indication of battery life. Here are your steps for the day. Here's your sleep from the night before. It'll give you your sleep duration, your awake times, preparation, REM sleep, light sleep, deep sleep, and give you a sleep efficiency for falling asleep and overall sleep. And you can go back and look at previous days and get an idea of how you've been sleeping. If you go to the calendar, any day with a little dot under it means it has a reading from that day. So you could just choose any random day, skip to that day. Well, that was a bad one. I don't know what happened there. But you see how you slept, how long you slept, and the amount of time spent in those various zones. So that seems fairly reasonable to me. Here's your heart rate in beats per minute. It gives you your maximum heart rate for the day, your minimum heart rate for the day, your average value, and you have that trace over the course of the day. And then it gives you some heart rate zone distributions when you have, a number of minutes spent the quiet zone, warm-up zone, fat burning, aerobic, anaerobic, and sort of at your upper limit. Heart rate details here. This is just when it took the measurements and what the measurements were, all right? And so that's about it for the heart rate trace. Here are the blood pressure readings. It gives you your lowest, your highest, and again, it gives you all the individual measurements so you know when they were taken and what the measurement was. Don't trust this as a medical device. If you want to know your blood pressure accurately, go see a real doctor. EKG measurements, let's go back a couple days to one where I was actually quiet and silent, and you see it gives you your heart rate, your QT interval, along with a reference range and where your number falls compared to that range. HRV, or heart rate variability, again gives you sort of a reference range and what your number is. If you don't understand heart rate variability or QT interval, go study up on them. They're neat things to know if you're kind of tracking your fitness levels. In one of my videos, I did an in-depth deep dive on the QT interval on one of these smartwatch reviews, so I'm not going to do that again, but maybe I'll find it and drop a link. But there you go. There are your EKG measurements, your blood oxygen saturation over the course of the day, and it gives you indications of sleep apnea. That's when you kind of stop breathing at night and your blood oxygen drops. It will let you know whether you have that going on. Blood oxygen concentration, respiratory rate, hypoxia times, and cardiac load, again, along with some reference values here on the right. Now, here's a hypoxia and arousal that if it detects that you're having sleep apnea or a hypoxia event where you're not breathing enough at night, it'll vibrate to wake you up. Some common sense apnea information here. HRV, body temperature, there's your trace over the day. Blood glucose gives you your maximum value, minimum value, or your average value. Here's where you would toggle on and off whether you want to take these measurements automatically. Now, as I scroll back through previous days, oddly enough, my blood glucose trace always looks the same. And I don't believe it because, you know, I get up at different times. Some days I skip breakfast. I don't always eat regularly. So for these graphs to be like a perfect overlay from day to day just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But it is generating some numbers here. Blood components, your uric acid, maximum, minimum, average value. Again, to toggle on and off automatic measurements, there's where you would do it. Blood lipids, total cholesterol, triglycerides, high-density lipoprotein, low-density lipoprotein. Toggle that measurement automatically on and off. Folks, this is not drawing blood, and it's not sending it off to a lab for real blood analysis or like a blood workup. So clearly this is not a valid medical device, right? So don't trust your health to this thing. None of these blood monitoring wrist-worn non-invasive devices are FDA approved, so don't treat them as such. And then you get your body comp measurements here with, let's just look at that main screen. It gives you your BMI, your body fat percentage, and your muscle percentage, and then you can drill down into that. Your BMR, bone mass, moisture, fat, pounds, lean protein mass, body fat, muscle, body water, bone mass, BMR, protein, skeletal muscle, and then subcutaneous fat and lean body mass. All right. So, yeah, it's not a bod pod either. So, yeah, take it all with a grain of salt. You can get into some workouts and then use the GPS tracks from your phone, your location from your phone, to overlay with that other exercise data. It is not a GPS watch. And then here you can get into some personal settings. Here's the watch. You can turn on and off which push notifications you want sent over to the watch. Right now I just have it set up to send phone calls and SMS messages when it's tethered via Bluetooth. Some alarms, health reminders, heart rate alert, raise to wake. That means when you flip your wrist, it will turn the watch face on. I leave that off just to save battery life. Connected for Bluetooth calls. You got various dial settings in here. There's a face gallery with plenty of options in there. Screen on time, and here's where you would change the units for your weather settings, your units from temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, and yeah, you know, various settings in there. You get the idea, I think. So yeah, the HBand app is good. I like it. Comprehensive, easy to use, easy to understand. Now, let's get to my final thoughts. So there you have it, the ET593 smartwatch. It's selling on Banggood for just under $60 right now. I think it's a good looking watch if you like the form factor, okay? There's that electrode and the microphone. There are those electrodes and sensors. There's the speaker on the side. If you like the form factor, then I'd say, you know, for the money and what the features you get and the looks, it's worth checking out. I personally like this watch. I think it's a little pricey at $60 compared to some of the other ones you can get for less. But you know, I give it a thumbs up. And I think it's something you should check out if this appeals to you. So I'm going to drop a link below in this description. Check out all my smartwatch and fitness tracker reviews on my YouTube channel, on my smartwatch and fitness tracker playlist. Come check me out at davethekayaker.com. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As I mentioned at the onset, I love doing tech reviews, and I've kind of fallen into this little niche of doing smartwatch reviews, and I really enjoy doing these. I like to see the technology progressing, and I like to bring that to you. So yeah, help spread the word, subscribe. Check me out at davethekayaker.com. And in today's society, the biggest compliment you can give me is giving me your time and attention. And so I thank you very much for giving those to me just now. And I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much, and I hope you're having a great day no matter where you are.